Alright, let's do this. Hope everybody had a great couple days. Is having a great weekend. All the fun stuff. I have to tell you, I am struggling with this backup camera. Are people actually good at using the backup camera? I don't know. Yelled at me, telling me to stay alert. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. There's only a few more days. I am literally crawling out my skin. I can't even describe it any other way than that. I am literally like chomping at the bit. I have been having some serious problems with my phone. Nothing new, actually. Just things are getting progressively worse. Oh, and I noticed I do this. I do the ums a lot. things are getting progressively worse with my phone, and so I had to order a new one. I made the joke that I ordered it for the phone case. I made a really nice phone case. Made a really nice phone case, and I'm always like amazed. Just last night, somebody showed me that they are wearing my art. I mean, it's an amazing. I can't even put it into words how awesome it is. I spent probably 30 years doing art and creating things and making things, and I got zero credit. And I used to see my stuff t-shirts and advertisements and everything like that, and not a single one, not a damn one of them gave me credit for it. It's to the point where, like, I don't even know if I can even say, like, I could say what they are, but I don't know if I could say what they are without getting into legal trouble. It is like that insane. I know some artists have kind of rewritten history. And they paid me. I'm gonna give them that. Everybody paid me. Whether they paid me what I was worth or not is beside the point. They paid me for it. I made it for them. The end of story. Now, a lot of the things that I made, you could not AI it. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm so. Now I know why I'm against AI. It's just theft. But the reason why I think I have a personal stake in it is because, basically I was AI for a lot of my artistic career. And that's not even what I wanted to talk about today. But yeah, that's how I've been going through. So I've been going through a lot of stuff. I did not stream over the week my weekend, but it's okay. It's okay. Next week we have diggy. I am going to actually, where diggy is actually concerned, I am going to, because I think it comes out on the 1st. I'm going to go in and do some diggy. There's a crazy update that's happening right around it. It's not the first work that I gotta do. I gotta do the second work. So I'll probably do it after. Probably play after I get the second work done. I'm pretty surprise. Also got the special surprise that I worked on. I'm not even going to release it till the 31st. So one thing that's come up with me, and I didn't want to wait till like I was actually almost at work before I freaking start talking about this, because it might take a little while. It has come to my attention that I love to argue. And in fact, I argue till the point is viewed. People say I crossed the line, and I don't do the agree to disagree bullshit. In fact, I almost never say, well, I never say agree to disagree, but I will kind of acknowledge that this person's done with this argument, and that's it. I'm not going to get any more out of it. Now, I approach arguments a little bit differently than most people. Most people approach arguments to win. And then maybe it's because I play orcs. Maybe it's because I don't play to win. I play to understand. I want to understand why people have the viewpoint that they have. Not because they're not going to change. They're not going to change my viewpoint. It's not going to happen unless it's just something trivial. An argument about something trivial. They're not going to change my. I have long established core values that are over 30 years old, most of them. Moving the needle on those things ain't gonna happen. Do people attack them? Yes. So I don't even usually get into why my core values are my core values. And people think that I leave that because I keep that ace out my sleeve. It's just not worth it. If I bring out the big guns right away, people will retreat, or they'll be like, yeah, you're right, and I won't get what I want, which is why do people believe the way they believe? Is it just and some people just believe it because it was told to them that way. And most people just don't want to think for themselves. It's laziness. They don't want to have their own opinion. They want to be given their opinion. And I hate to even say it like that, because most people believe that. Obviously not you. But most people believe that, or want their opinions given to them. And I've used that too. I've used that against people also. But I really want to understand how somebody got to that conclusion, what brings it up, and why they even thought it was worth defending. Like I said, that's the reason why I don't bring out I don't just go bang, bang, bang and blow them out of the water. It's usually a slow burn. It's usually why did you think that? According to this is wrong. According to that is wrong. Where did you come up with this thinking? And when they answer, sometimes they answer with an attack on me and my person and stuff like that. And I don't care that people. Here it is. I fucking don't give a shit whether you like or dislike me. It's not going to make or break me. It doesn't do anything. When somebody is in the middle of an argument with me and they attack me personally, what I realized is that whatever questioning that I had, I went a little too hard, and I've lost them. And now I'll never find out the answer of how they got to the freaking conclusion that they want. Because answers are not right or wrong. People think that everything's fucking black and white. Answers are not right or wrong. You get to your conclusion because of certain things. And that's what I want to know. I know it sounds really bizarre, but I don't even care what the right answer is. Like I said, I got my core values, and as long as it doesn't get into that territory, it doesn't matter. I'll change my mind. I'll agree. I'll do all that stuff, whatever it takes to bring up something that happened fairly recently. But so somebody was describing rainfall, and they said that, you know, the radar covers an area, and when they say that there's 30% chance of rain, they think that 30% of that area, that covered area, will get rained on. Like for some reason, it totally took me off guard, because I was trying to understand what they were meaning. Just so you know, that's what they meant. I was like going, I hear you correctly. You think a chance of rain is 30% of the territory that the cloud's covering, that's going to rain on that. You think that they can predict. They can't even predict the correct temperature, but you think that they can predict that it's going to rain on 30% of the territory. And they said with unabashedly yes. And somebody else chimed in and said, yeah, I heard that. And I was like going, it is not the case. It's just a chance of rain. They're just guessing. They're saying because of the precipitation in this area that they do, because the precipitation is so high, this is the reason why we're giving it a 25-50% chance of rain, 75% chance of rain. In fact, I've even seen a 100% chance of rain based on precipitation in the area. You know, humidity, all that stuff. All that stuff plays a role into how they guess their freaking percentage number. It has nothing to do with where it's going to fall, because they have no fucking idea. Clouds fucking move. And if it does rain on one side of the territory that's in the radar and not on the other, it's still within their margin of error. That territory got 30%, that territory did not. Whatever. It's still, none of it, they can get none of it. We can say 30% chance of rain and nobody gets any rain. They can say 30% chance of rain and 100% of the territory can get rain. It's just a fucking guess. And trying to change their minds, it freaking blew up into a huge argument. Because obviously they weren't going to get me to change my mind. I mean, it is what it is. It actually says chance of rain, percentage chance of rain, not percentage of territory, of rainfall in a territory. It's percentage chance of rain. The rain, the chance that it could rain in that territory. Oh, it drives me crazy. And then, of course, they told me to shut the fuck up. And I kept pounding on the evidence. What's another thing? Oh, butter. So somebody had their butter out. think they said that it was like they were talking about 3 days of leaving butter out to be the perfect softness. And I was just like going, why would you leave your butter out for 3 days? I said, would you leave milk out for 3 days? I said, I had to actually look it up, but I thought it was 24 hours. They say 2 days. You can leave butter out for 2 days. I thought 24 hours. 24 hours is more than enough. But even that is still too much. I was like going, would you leave milk out? How long would you leave milk out? That's how long you should leave butter out. I know you like it soft. And if you really want soft butter, before you go to bed, you can take the butter out and leave it on the counter and let it freaking, soften. Before, when you finish with the butter, put it back in the fucking fridge. And they looked at me like I had like 3 heads. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You leave butter out all the time. I'm like going, bleh. I said, it's milk. And if somebody disagrees with it, if you definitely disagree with it, anything that I say, chime in. But remember, I'm not looking to be right. I'm looking to be how you came to that conclusion. If that makes sense. So if you want to give me that information, so much better. I got to this conclusion because of, the War of the Roses. Blah, blah, blah. Benedictine monks used to sing while they cooked. I can't even imagine, like, especially like when it's like 90 degrees out and stuff like that, and it's warm in the house, like, bleh. That's disgusting. And the way they made it sound like is like everybody does this. So am I a freaking wacko that freaking thinks that you should put butter in the fridge and not leave it out for days? I mean, I can see, like, if your house is cool, if it's like, even 60 degrees, but I would probably say 55 degrees. If your house is 55 degrees, I know that 40 is the threshold, but 55 degrees is probably cool enough to keep the butter okay. It probably won't soften up as well as you'd like, but it's still probably okay to keep the butter there. I might keep milk out like that. I don't know. But that's the way, that's how I answer that. Just so you know. I answer, would you keep milk out? Because it's a dairy product. It is literally, would you keep cheese out that long? And then people will say, like, well, there's cheese that that have a crust and they're wrapped and they keep cheese out all day long. And it's like going, yeah, but they usually keep cheese in a cool, dry place. In the kitchen, it's usually the hottest place in the house, especially if you're cooking. Probably don't want to leave cheese out either. But yogurt, all of it, anything dairy, cottage cheese. Would you leave that stuff out for days? Why would you do it with butter? It's the same thing. And I'm not talking margarine. If your argument's about margarine, listen, margarine's oil. It's not milk based. Leave it out. Leave it out for 10 days. Leave it out for 100 days. I don't care. I don't like margarine anyway. Not a big margarine person. But butter, butter is freaking milk. It's a dairy product. Do you see when you go to when you when you go to the store and you look at the case that the butter's in, it's a refrigerated case. They don't leave it out. It's probably you can, like I said, if you have an argument about this, I want to know why you got to that, why you came to that conclusion that leaving the butter out for more than a day, or you'd probably say because they said 2 days. 2 days is too fucking long. I mean, like I said, would you leave milk out for 2 days and then drink it? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Like I said, they looked at me like I had two heads. Like, you know, but everybody does this. There's a bunch of things like that. Like washing rice. I don't always wash right. Don't always wash white rice when I'm cooking it. And I know that sounds pretty sus coming from a person that's going to tell you to always wash your rice. Very sus. Like I said, very sus coming from a person that says you should always wash your rice. You should always wash your rice, but brown rice, you have to wash it anyway. And if you don't wash brown rice, it's just going to come out that. And I mean, talk about scrubbing it, but I know people who don't wash rice ever, and then they wonder why the freaking brown rice comes out like freaking crap because you didn't wash it. I love to argue. I want everybody to know. If you want an argument, I'm the person to argue with. And if you want to keep me dangling, you don't tell me why you came to that conclusion. And you can't hold the argument long without doing that. So, you know, how'd you come up with that freaking number? Why are you quoting a statistic? Freaking Mark Twain said statistics there's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics. I mean, statistics really are bad. I mean, it's like listening to freaking Brainworm Boy freaking talking about like all these wrong statistics. So using statistics is probably not the best way to do it, but it will tell me if that's what you use to get to your answer. Now let's try to figure out what the right answer is. I mean, I can't, the rainfall thing, I can't even I can't even think of a different way. But the butter thing, people can make an argument. They can make an argument there that they're in cool butter dishes that keep cool. And just so you know, 40 degrees is correct refrigeration. So I would allow like 50 degrees and stuff like that. Probably wouldn't allow too much 60 degrees. Definitely wouldn't allow a 7-degree, which is basically room temperature. If you leave butter out in freaking room temperature for, like I said, more than a day, bleh. It's disgusting. Do you ever notice, like, when butter's out for a really long time, it like starts to actually separate? Do you know why it does that? Because it's rotting. Work again, rig a jig jig. All right. Sorry about that. Oh God, you guys must go fucking crazy over it. Cool beans, comments below. It doesn't have to be cool beans. It can be whatever you like. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. And if you want to get into an argument, let's get into an argument. All right? I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.